All right, welcome everybody. My name is Aaron Whittier. This is probably the first time you're going to see this information because, frankly, it's brand new to the United States and other English-speaking territories. I've been an entrepreneur now for 30 years, and last year, last March, I got a phone call from one of my good friends, Tuan Nguyen. And he reached out to me and said, Aaron, do you have a little bit of time? I said, what's up? He said, I have a friend in Taiwan that's been bugging me for the last 5 months about this new company in Asia. It's 2 years old. They did $1 billion in sales, their second year in business. And he keeps bugging me. I said, okay. He goes, we just jump on with me. I said, sure. So we jump on with Paul and we see this company, this new tech, this new technology, these devices, this therapy that I'd never really heard about. And I was intrigued. I was definitely intrigued by these devices and what they were doing for people in Asia. And also, he talked about the business side. And I got to tell you, Tuan and I were texting back and forth, asking each other, "Did you see this?" And we've never seen anything quite like this. So, of course, I was interested, and so was Tuan. But the problem was there was nothing going on in the United States. There was a couple of people trying to get it going, but all the materials were in Chinese and other Asian languages. The devices took 2 months to get here once you ordered them, and there was no credit card processing. It was all done by cryptocurrency. So I declined. It wasn't ready. And Tuan actually signed up with Paul just to as a favor, just to kind of get him off his back. So what happened then was Tuan has a marketing team and a tech team, and they do marketing and videos for all these different companies. So the company actually hired Tuan to do the English speaking materials and to break into Australia and Europe and other English speaking territories. So Tuan passed it off to his business partner, Jason. And Jason started to decipher all these different Chinese languages into American. And he got really excited because he was learning about the tech, he was learning about the patents, learning what the devices do. And he also learned about the business side and was blown away. And he called Tuan. He said, Tuan, did you join that company? He goes, what company? He goes, Olylife. He said, yeah, I joined. He goes, I want to do this. He's like, I'm gonna build the materials and stuff, but I gotta share this with people. So he got started and he got the device and he went to Japan. Met with some people in Japan and it absolutely exploded in Japan in 3 weeks. And then he went back to Hawaii and he started letting people try the devices and it absolutely exploded. So Paul in Taiwan calls Tuan and said, Tuan, do you see what's happening in your business? And he was like, what business you talking about? He said, your all life business. He goes, no, why? What's going on? He goes, well, Jason is absolutely taken off. He goes, you need to log in. So he logged into his website and he realized he was making $1,000 to $2,000 per day off the efforts of Jason. Now, I know that's hard to believe. And it was all just accumulating in his wallet in the back office. So, of course, that got Tuan's attention. And he called Paul. He said, okay, what is going on with this company? Because I don't want to join another one of these deals. I don't want, my wife and I are tired of building these businesses because they're all the same. He goes, no, that's what I've been trying to tell you. It's very, very different. It's very different. This company's really paving the way. A lot of companies go an affiliate model for a reason because people don't want auto ships and have to keep spending money, ongoing money on products they don't want to buy. This is very different. So Tuan and Van took a hard look and they started to build it quietly under the radar. They started sharing it with people in Australia, people in Europe, people in America, even though it took 2 months to get here. And they started building this quietly. And they call me about every month saying, hey, we're making this much money. We're making this much money. I couldn't believe it. But I couldn't get started because the device still took 2 months and there was no credit card processing. It was all through crypto. Well, this last January, 2 months ago, I see them both post on Facebook and they said they were building this company behind the scenes. Their team did 10 million in sales, no auto ship, no monthly closes, all these different things. And it piqued my interest along with a lot of other people. And immediately I experienced FOMO. I know you guys have probably experienced that once or twice in your life, fear of missing out. That was me at that moment. So I called them. Well, they were in China. They were in China to meet meet the marketing team, the owners. They were touring around Malaysia and Hong Kong and Singapore. They were seeing everything behind the scenes. And I was like, I can't believe you're in China. They said, yeah, this thing is taking off. And I said, yeah, but why'd you post on social media? And they said, well, you were going to be our first phone call when we got back from China. We have two warehouses stocked full of these devices in America. We have credit card processing, and they're building a state-of-the-art home office in Southern California. And I was like, no way. He said, yeah. I said, well, let's go. And that was in January, just a little over 2 months. And what I've experienced in my 30 years in this industry, I've never, ever experienced growth like this, excitement like this, success like this, simplicity like this, with devices that are so demonstratable, devices that people want, but they don't know about it yet. Therapy at home, the list goes on and on. So let's get into this here. And I'm chomping at the bit to tell you this. Two biggest challenges no one prepares us for: proactive wellness, strategic timing, and real leverage. Listen, in the United States, we spend more on healthcare than any other nation in the history. Trillions are spent yearly. Chronic illness is rising. Daily prescriptions increasing. I mean, look at North America wellness crisis. You all know we're in a crisis. 42% of Americans, adults, are obese. Physical inactivity, right? Us sitting on our butts all day. 70% of adults in the U.S. take at least one prescription daily. The average American, 50,000 pills in their lifetime. And we're never taught how to make our body work better. Okay, we actually wait for symptoms. We diagnose and then we prescribe. Instead of being proactive, support the body daily, improve resilience, optimize function. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, the global wellness industry has experienced massive growth. And a big reason is something because it's called biohacking, which includes PEMF technology, red light therapy, and recovery tech. There's a major global shift in how people approach health. People want drug-free solutions. The world is shifting towards prevention, not just treatment. And AI, tech, and health are merging. Guided wellness tools, at-home devices replacing clinic visits. And PEMF therapy is now gaining momentum. What's driving PEMF growth in the most? Well, our aging population, increased chronic conditions, the demand for home use therapy devices, and growing awareness of alternative therapies. And that's where Olylife lives, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the company profile. 3 years of research. The company's just over 3 years old. Olylife owns laboratories in Sweden and Germany. There's thousands of global patents on this technology, on these devices, European certifications. And these devices are made with advanced chips only found in Japan, and they're assembled in China. Look at these home offices, a bunch of home offices all over Asia. Soon to be home offices in United States, Canada, and other countries, and it's moving really, really fast. Why? Because of AI. They're doing $80+ million per month in sales in Asia alone. There's 500 millionaires have been created in just 3 years in Asia. They're shipping over to 152 countries already. This certified innovation you can trust, patents on 167 plus patents globally. So if you want the proof, it's all there. So talk about PEMF. We talked about that a second ago. I mentioned that a second ago. What is pulsed electromagnetic therapy, field therapy? What is it? Well, do yourself a favor and go on to ChatGPT and search. What are the benefits of PEMF? It's going to spit out everything positive. You're going to see it was used back in the 70s with astronauts. They're coming back from space. Well, they use pulsed electromagnetic field therapy to help them recover quickly and quicker, because when you go out to space, your body takes a beating, right? It supports healthy circulation, encourages cell repair and regeneration, assists with the body's natural detox process, promotes ease and healthy movement, supports overall wellness in areas such as bone health, nerve function, metabolic balance, cardiovascular vitality, healthy hair growth, cellular regulation. I mean, it's unbelievable what PEMF does. And why don't we know about it? Well, think about it. They don't want us to know about it, right? Here's some astronauts. This is what happens when they come back from space. They can't walk. They've been out in space for quite a while. They can't walk. You got to get adjusted back to, the way the world is, right? We look at the evolution of PEMF therapy. Well, it started in the early 20th century with electromagnetic fields introduced through electricity, radio, and modern tech. And then the awareness grew in the mid to late 20th century. And then in the 60s and 70s with the discovery of PEMF, where scientists explored pulsed electromagnetic field therapy as a way to support cellular health and recovery. And then in the 2000s, well, some people started learning about it. Athletes started using it to recover better. But again, only the elite knew about it. You can only maybe go to certain doctors or wellness places to get the therapy. Well, now the 2020s, the Olylife innovation, Olylife advances PEMF with cutting edge, user friendly devices designed to enhance everyday wellness in your own home, ladies and gentlemen. This is absolutely incredible. They also have terahertz waves with these devices. You look at what terahertz does: activates cellular energy, improves blood flow. So many different things these devices do, but state of the art wellness devices. Here's a list and a bunch of the different devices that they have here. Also, additional devices and other devices coming soon. Well, here's their flagship product, the P90. You put your feet on this plate here for 20 minutes, and the benefits you get are tremendous. Supports comfort, vitality, and active lifestyle. Again, it energizes and rejuvenates at the cellular level, supports detox pathways and inner balance. The list goes on and on and on. In my experience with the machine, in 3 weeks, I've had pain in my legs when I sleep the last 5 years, probably due to poor circulation, varicose veins. I'm 55 years old. I put my body through a beating over the years. I used to be an entertainer. I used to tumble, do backflips, jump off stages, off speakers, onto concrete. I used to ride jet skis and jump waves in the ocean 25 feet in the air in a stand-up jet ski. My body took a beating. I got a hip replacement, total hip replacement 2 years ago. My right hip needs to be replaced. This technology has made me pain-free in 3 weeks. Now, is that going to happen for you? I don't know. But there are people experiencing the benefits right away. Not everybody experiences the same benefits right away. It may take time. But these devices are absolutely incredible. The list goes on and on. So I'm going to play a little video for you here. This is a live blood analysis from somebody that did a PEMF session. This is her blood before the session, all slow moving, clumped up. Probably what my blood was doing in my legs.
Wow.
Speaks for itself. 20-minute PEMF session. Look at her blood flow. Moving. And that's probably exactly what happened to my legs. That's the reason probably why my legs are feeling so much better. All right, so let's get back to it here. The global eye strain crisis. Listen, we all know that us and children alike are exposed to screens for way too long. Overexposure to blue light, we've heard that. You can get the blue light glasses, right, to minimize that. But digital eye fatigue, people's eyes are really going through a beating right now with all the tech and devices. With this Galaxy G1 Smart Eye Massager, it can really help people. Supports relaxation and refreshed feeling around the eyes, massages your eyes. I mean, it's unbelievable what this does. People fall asleep using this, getting great results. This shaking massager is the hottest product right now, probably. I mean, it works on visceral fat, helps with back pain, can help with back pain. The ultrasound, heat therapy, high frequency vibration, red light therapy, radio frequency, PEMF frequency, dynamic massage. I mean, you can put this thing on for 20 minutes and do whatever you want, and you'll feel great. So find the Olylife device that fits your needs and take the first steps towards a healthier, happier you. You've seen it first here, and now we're going to talk about the opportunity side, because I know a lot of you on here came on tonight to take a look because you heard there's probably the most incredible opportunity of our lifetime potentially with this company. We're brand new here in the States. And why is this business a home run? Well, the product is demonstrable. Ladies and gentlemen, you can put your feet on this device and you'll feel it working. You can feel it work right away. And it's not a huge lifestyle change. Listen, it's not a pill, potion, or lotion, right? You're not trying to, have somebody, you're not going to someone's home and say, hey, try my PEMF device. Mine's better. No, you're not doing that because nobody has one in their home. This is new technology. People want it, but they just don't know about it yet. So you're not saying, hey, try my skincare. It's better than yours. Or try my my weight loss is better than yours. You're not doing that here. Okay. You're showing them something they don't have, but they want. So we talk about timing in businesses, right? There's 3 phases in every business. There's a startup phase that's where most businesses fail. Well, This company didn't fail. It actually exploded in Asia. Why? Because the product worked. The product gave people incredible benefits. The word spread like crazy. And now it's here in the States. Look at that red dot. That's where we sit right now in the growth phase. We're right in the beginning of the growth phase right now, getting ready for explosive growth phase. And then eventually, years down the road, it gets to the stability phase. That's when everybody really has one. That's when it's going to be PEMF therapy is going to be old news, right? That time is going to be gone. Everybody's going to have one. It's going to be known. The key to business success is seizing the right moment, and we are in the right moment right now, ladies and gentlemen. To get started in this business, the entry level is $1,000. You buy at least the P90 machine. Most people are getting the P90 Plus, but the P90 or the Shake and Massager is $1,000. It can be used by the whole family. Global ready. There's no auto ship here. There's not a continuing buying of products. You don't have to do that ever again. There's daily payout and high retention. And you can actually come in at three different levels if you want. $1,000 worth of products, $2,000 worth of products, or $6,000 worth of products, or anywhere in between. Now, there's 7 ways to earn. Now, I'm going to go over a couple of them here. There's no joining fee. So everybody that gets this device is essentially in the business, whether they want to be or not. They don't have to do anything, but there's no joining fee. There's no extra fee. There's no subscription. There's no ongoing fees like website fees or anything else. Like just about every company in this industry has you do. They make you buy a certain amount to be qualified in the compensation plan. Not here. You're active forever with one-time purchase. You have international team options, passive income options as well. In addition to that, we have probably the fastest, best compensation plan in the industry. How a binary comp plan works. You build 2 teams left and right. You place new affiliates in their sales volume onto one leg or another. Now, there is one rule. Your first sale goes directly on your left automatically. And this part right here, ladies and gentlemen, I wanted to show you this because I've never, ever seen this in any business I've been in. And I don't think any of you on here tonight have ever seen anything quite like this. So you get started in the business, you buy $1,000 device, and you actually get placed in the binary below somebody. Now, that somebody might be out there sharing the devices and building the business and spreading the word around the world. Now, when that person earns commissions, you make 5% of their commissions. So, give you an example. Let's say the person above you makes $1,000. You make 5% of that, you make $50. Whether you're building the business or not, you're going to make $50 on the person above you. If they make $10,000, you're going to make $500. Now, you can only earn on this part of the compensation plan, you can only earn 3 times your buy-in. So if you come in for $1,000, you can earn up to $3,000 off the person's efforts above you. $2,000, you can earn up to $6,000. You buy $6,000, you can earn up to $18,000. Now, again, I've never seen that before. It actually goes down another level. So that 5% goes all the way down there. See that? If you make $500, well, the person placed below you makes $25, the 5%. So absolutely incredible. Now, there's also a performance bonus. This is actually what we call a fast start bonus, where if you bring me on board and I want to buy the $1,000 device, well, the $1,000 device has 750 PV, basically volume. You're going to earn 10% of the PV. So you're going to earn $75 when I buy that $1,000 device. In addition to that, let's say I come in for the P90 Plus for $1,500 in the eye goggles, and that totals $2,000. That's $1,500 PV. You're going to earn $150. Or if I come in for more product because maybe I'm a chiropractor or a wellness, or I want to, do trade shows and have all the products to demonstrate and have extras, that's $4,500 PV, and you'd earn $450. Now, that's all great. But let me show you why Tuan and I were texting each other when we saw this company over a year ago with Paul. This right here, this tier bonus, I've never seen anything like this. And I'm sure you probably haven't as well. So again, this is you at the top here, and you bring in your first person A1, and then you bring in your first person B1. They both buy $1,000 devices. You're going to earn a $375 tier bonus. And then the next person down on the left, A2, and the next person down on the left, B2, you're going to earn another $375. Even if you didn't bring A2 and B2 in, you're going to make $375 again. And then A3, B3, you're going to make it again. And there's no cap on this bonus. It keeps going to infinity. And it gets even bigger if the A and B on both sides each buy $2,000 when they start. You're going to make a $750 tier bonus. And if everybody down there buys $2,000 to get started in devices, you're going to make 750 all the way down. And if they're going to go big and, have a lot more products, $6,000 on each side, you're going to make 2250. Now, let me show you exactly how this works here. So Tuan and Van are out there, building the biggest team in America right now. They're going to be the first millionaires in America, and it's not going to take long at all. They brought me on board, and I'm out there actively doing this full time as well. And then we bring you on board. Let's say I bring you on board. And then before you even get your device, before you even actually get your email and you figure out what you're doing, Tuan and Van actually place somebody new below you on your left side. And then I do the same thing. I put somebody below that person on your left side. And then you actually send that picture out to somebody and you say, hey, have you seen this device yet? And they say, no, what is it? And you say, hey, it's a PEMF device. And they say, what's that? And you say, hey, do you use ChatGPT? And they say, sure. And you say, ask ChatGPT, what are the benefits of PEMF? And when they do that, they see it's all positive, that PEMF can help with just about anything. And then you send them a short little video about PEMF. And they start thinking, hey, listen, I need this device. And you say, hey, listen, I don't know if you're looking to make some extra money. And they say, I'm always looking to make some extra money. And then you send them a couple more videos. One video about the devices, another video about the compensation plan I'm describing here. And they get excited and they say, oh my gosh, I want this device. Give me the device. They sign up. They go the first person on your left, number one. They buy $2,000 package here. These examples are based on everybody buying a $2,000 package. You're going to make a $150 performance bonus when they get to $2,000. And then you're excited. You start sharing with somebody else. You're bringing your second person in. They go on your right side. You're going to get another $150 performance bonus. And you're going to experience your first tier bonus. That tier bonus is going to pay you $750. But you didn't bring in the person on your left. Tuan and Van brought them in. But you're still going to tier bonus. And then your people bring in people down the left. And it keeps building down the left without you doing anything because people are just coming in, getting the devices. And then you bring your third person in. And you bring them in the right side, but the left side of your right side. And there's a reason why that happens. We'll make sure you do it correctly. And you experience your second tier bonus plus another $150 performance bonus. And then you bring in your fourth person and you experience another tier bonus. And then your first person on the right, number two, brings in their first person on the left because the first person automatically goes on the left. And even though you didn't bring anyone on that level, the left or right, you're going to still experience a $750 tier bonus. And the next level, same thing happens, another $750 tier bonus. But you didn't bring that person in. Your number three person brought them in. Then you bring in your fifth person that goes below there. You get another $150 performance bonus and another $750 tier bonus. And then you bring in your sixth person. You get another performance bonus and another tier bonus. So with just this amount of people right here, you're going to earn $900 in performance bonuses. And you're going to earn $5,250 in tier bonuses, equaling over $6,000. Now, how many people did you bring in? You brought in 6 people. But you earned off the efforts of other people bringing them in. I mean, I've never seen anything as rich as this, as powerful as this, as fast as this. So another thing we want to talk about here is the personal volume here, the PV. You get $10,500 on the left from all these devices. It's $1,500 per $2,000 devices. Times 7 on each side is 10,500 PV on your left and your right. And that would actually qualify you for the first leadership rank of M1. And then you get a stake in the global pool. The revenue shared amongst all the qualified members, you're going to get a piece of the global sales. And this company, like I said, is already doing 80 million plus in Asia. And we're starting to get a little bit of legs here in the States and Europe and in Australia, South America. It's spreading like wildfire. And once you qualify for this, you're eligible every year. All you have to do is bring on one new person per year. And here's some other ranks here. M1 is 10,000 on each side. It goes up from there and you get more shares as you go. And it's just absolutely incredible. So in closing here, let's rewind here. What do you see here tonight? Well, you're seeing a company that's on the cusp of the global wellness industry that's experiencing massive growth with all the biohacking, including PEMF, red light therapy. All these devices have that. With people wanting devices in their homes, they're waking up to this technology. And Olylife is bringing it to America first. And you have a simple system of just sending out a picture to people, seeing if they see it, if they've seen it before. It's the absolute simplest system I've ever seen. And a compensation plan like no other I've ever seen in this industry. I don't think anybody's ever seen anything like that. So get back to the person that shared this video with you or the person that invited you on this presentation tonight. You don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. So I look forward to working with you. I'd like to be the first one to welcome you to Ollie Nation and Team Impact. Take care and take charge.